Where's the music? Okay, perfect. So let's say you're Nisio Oisin and you've recently introduced 3 characters that are very obviously near the end of their mortal coil. This guy, and this guy. So, in wrestling, there's a concept called jobbing, in which someone, usually an established character, gets the shit kicked out of them by a newly introduced character to demonstrate how strong that newly introduced character is. Sometimes it's a brutal beatdown, and sometimes it's... But let's start again from the top. Let's say you're Nisio Oisin and you've recently introduced 3 characters. They have to fight this girl right here. Now, if you've ever watched Katanagatari, these 3 are from a ninja corporation, which is to say their combat prowess isn't necessarily anything to sniff at, but up to this point in the anime, there hasn't really been an instance in which they've put up an overwhelming struggle for our main character. So, that's fine, but what does that have to do with her? Well, this is the main character's sister, and we're hinted to her combat abilities relative to her brother in the first episode, which are later explicitly demonstrated to us. This girl is stronger than her brother. As a matter of fact, she's technically the strongest person in the anime, bar none. With all this said, you already know what's going to happen when they try to fight her. It's going to be a one-sided slaughter. So, with this information in mind, what if I told you that nearly the entirety of a 50-minute episode was doled out to display the fight scene between her and the 3 ninjas? Now I can hear you thinking, what, was that a fight harder than we were led to believe? Well, no, she posterized them. Now, you reply, well, what was it then? And that's what we're talking about here, the screen time allotted for this fight scene and the tonal ambiguity that it's accompanied by. So, if about 40 minutes are given to this fight scene, and the fight was supposedly so easy for Nanami, this girl, what's the holdup? What's the catch? Well, like in a lot of Nisio Oisin media, the catch is that there's a lot of talking, specifically in this case for the Maniwa ninjas. Well, for Nanami too, but also for the Maniwa ninjas, which is hilarious because at this point in the anime, you've watched 3 episodes and you've noticed a pattern of what the utility is supposed to be. They're serial jobbers. For the sake of this anime, that they pretty much exist to die. So excuse me if I'm not partial to your plight, considering I know you're gonna die by the end of the episode. It just sounds like you're padding for reasons for the audience to care about you.
It doesn't matter. There's nothing you can do or say that's going to make us change our minds today.
That right there, that's her daughter. She blind. Come on. So I raised them both by myself without nobody else's help.
Come get your ticket to Vegas.
Now for me personally, this whole set piece was the funniest part of Katanagatari. Funnier than the fact that we don't get to see the Sabi Hakuei fight after it got hyped up for multiple episodes. Funnier than Togame learning that she had been misusing her catchphrase. And forgive me for being a little conspiratorial, or even perhaps making a conspiracy out of what might be obvious to the rest of you, but the fact that a 10-minute string of cliched death flags are played in succession before the ninjas go to their demise is played completely straight is something that I believe was done in a self-aware capacity. And it made for possibly the most confusing, amusing excerpt of anime I've ever watched. Like, besides the fact that the Maniwa ninjas, previously thought to be unscrupulous killers, are actually quite vulnerable with each other, we learned that one of them is supposed to get married, wants to quit smoking, and is so sentimental as to give mementos before going off on a mission. And this is done with such rapid-fire succession that you'll hardly be able to say death flag before they shoot off into the next cliche. So ultimately the question is this set piece just a sequence of ham-fisted writing to get us invested in no-name characters who are very clearly about to die? Or is it self-aware writing that works a double duty of padding out the episode while delivering an esoteric screenplay writing lesson? Well, that's for you to decide, but regardless of whether you think I'm laughing at or with the episode, I'm laughing, and that's all I can ask for.